live side split stretching and hip mobility work. Ooh, we do this every single day to practice consistency and build a little bit of community so that we can go through the motions of stretching, suffering a little bit on the floor, and make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more bearable, a little bit more consistent, so that we can make a whole bunch of progress in our side splits, in better hip mobility, towards better movement together. And I guess it's time to get right on into our hip cars. Hip cars are all articulated rotations, CAR cars, and they look a little bit like this. We're gonna start by lifting this knee as high as we can, directly in front of us. If you think you've reached it, keep going. Oh, a little bit higher. Open up that hip directly to the side as much as you can. And from here, once you're in this position, I want you to try your best to rotate the leg so that the ankle comes up. And then once your ankle's horizontal, I want you to keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Get your ankle as high as possible. Ooh, flex your hamstrings a little bit if you need to, and then bring the leg down and back. When it's down and back from the front, it looks like this. Your leg is just going straight back behind you. From the side, you're flexing the hamstrings, you're flexing the glutes, you're feeling that stretch here in the front of your hip, and that is one rep. We're gonna do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Let's get started. High knee, open, ankle up some more, leg down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, open, ankle up, down and back. 7, open, ankle up, down and back. 8, open, ankle up, down and back. 9, open. Ooh, I'm off balance. Breathe, chill, ankle up, down and back. Last one. Ankle up, down and back. And ooh, that is our first leg. If you need to, do a little dance, give it a second, move those hips. We're gonna get ready to get into the other side. Same thing on the other side. We're lifting the knee up, opening up the hip directly to the side, rotating so that the ankle is horizontal, rotating some more, lifting the ankle up as high as you can, bring the leg down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch here in the front of your hip, and that is one rep. We're gonna do 10 of these. And McEvie says, very cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's go. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. McEvie, if you're just joining in for the first time, we do 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work every single day. So if you think this is cool, there's a whole bunch more to come. Make sure to hang out, and we are at the very beginning of the workout, so feel free to join in. I have no idea how many of these we've done, so let's just pretend we're at 5, all right? High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last one, open, ankle up, down and back. And that is 10 hip cars going forward. If you're feeling it a little bit in your hips right now, because you're working these muscles, trying to lift your leg as much as possible in all these places, and they're smaller, probably less strong muscles, are feeling a little bit weak, feeling a bit tired, give them a little bit of squeeze, do a little dance, shake them out, let them relax. And if the other leg muscles, for example, the ones in your standing leg, your ankles, your calves, your toes, are feeling a little bit tired, you don't worry about those so much, because we keep on switching and alternating legs, all right? We did the forward ones. Now let's go ahead and do some in reverse. We're hitting all the same main points, back, side, ankle up, but we're gonna do them in a slightly different order. So if this is your first time joining in, stick around, we'll talk about it. Let's go. We're gonna stand up straight. I want you to flex your core. Keep this nice and tight. That's because when the first move that we're gonna do is bring this leg down and back, Oftentimes, when it's the first move that you do, you're going to be a little bit aggressive, a little bit more intense, and we tend to do something that looks like this. We start twerking. All right, when the leg goes back, we really, 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 really put a lot of pressure on the low back, trying to lift the leg up. We don't actually want that much pressure in the low back. This is all about the hips. So I want you to, sorry about that. My phone is running on 20% battery, so it gave me a little warning. From, where was it? When you do this, we want to feel the stretch here in the hip, all right? We don't want to feel it in the low back, so I want you to keep your core nice and tight, tuck that butt in, all right? Let's go. Back, side, lift the leg directly to the side. From here, I want you to rotate so that your ankle comes up as high as you can. Pause, work that end range of motion. Get tired, bring the ankle all the way down, lift the knee up as high as you can directly to that side, and bring it forward. That is 1 rep. We're gonna do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Let's go. Core tight, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. I think that's 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 10. Oh, if your standing foot is totally tired, just trying to keep balance, feel free to put your arms out, hold on to a wall, hold on to something so that you can focus on the hip car and not so much on this hip trying to stay stable. All right. Oh. Let's continue. We got one last hip to do. We're 75% of the way through with hip cars. Let's go. Hold that core nice and tight. Bring this leg down and back behind you. Flex the glutes, flex the hamstrings. Feel the stretch here in the hip flexors. Lift the leg directly to the side. Breathe. Rotate the ankle as high as you can. Bring that knee down and then do the opposite. Bring that knee way up high. Drop the ankle and bring that leg to the front. That is 1 rep. We're going to count it. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 2, back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 3, back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 4, back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 5, back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 6. These are your last 4 reps. Come on. Ankle up, ankle down. 7, back, side. I'm off balance. Ankle up, ankle down. 8, back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. 10. Relax. Take a break. Chill. If you're just joining in, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. So we do this every single day to practice consistency, the number 1 quality, the hardest thing to do of the whole entire shebang. And we try to build a little bit of community because part of the reason why consistency is so hard is because you're just sitting around suffering, feeling this intense stretch, going, and that is just genuinely not that fun. So we try to do this live to give ourselves a little bit of accountability, give us a space, a time of day where we stretch, and hopefully try to bring some good energy, some good vibes so that we can make the things that we do, the stretching, the mobility work, a little bit more easy, a little bit more fun. And that's the spiel. So hit follow, hit subscribe if you like it. If you're not sure yet, you're undecided, stick around. That was only the first warm-up exercise. We got 2 more warm-up exercises and 5 stretches to do. Let's go. Second warm-up exercise is a little bit more chill compared to the hip cars. We're going to start by folding forward. Boom. That's it. If you have a tight low back, your low back might be feeling a little bit of a stretch, be a little bit grumpy and unhappy, and that's all right. Give it a nice little pat on the back. Be like, hey, it's okay, and let it relax. After a couple of seconds, your back hopefully relaxes, and you're going to start feeling it in your hamstrings. That's where we want it. From here, I want you to focus on bringing that belly button lower to the ground, as low as you can go. You might see me and go, oh, that's a crazy angle. Wherever you are, doesn't matter if you're higher up and this is where you're getting stuck, or if you're lower down and this is where you're getting stuck. Whatever feels intense for you is all that matters. All right? From here, we are going to start bending one knee and straightening the other leg one at a time. Keep on trying to bring the belly button down. We're going to switch from side to side. So one knee's bent, other leg is straight. Then we're going to switch. The knee that was bent is now straight, and the other, whatever, switching from side to side. And that's it. We're going to go ahead and do that for a bunch of seconds. Just go ahead and get started. Switch and switch and switch. And switch. When you do these, especially your first couple, you might feel a whole bunch of tension going up into your glutes, through your hamstrings. Maybe you're feeling some tingliness in your calves and in your toes. That, in general, is pretty normal. The tingliness in the calves and toes is often called nerve flossing or nerve stretching. So if you want to Google that later, that is what you got to Google. And it's okay. As long as you're not doing some super explosive knee bending things like this, super explosive, like pop, 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 and really powering through it, you should be fine. From here, hopefully, we've done enough of these that you're suddenly feeling like, oh, hey, this isn't so bad. It started pretty rough, but this isn't so bad. I'm okay. This is all right. If that's the case, I want you to keep on trying to bring that belly button down deeper into the stretch. And keep on folding forward. And we're going to do 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. Pop into a bit of a squat. Come back up into standing. And that is our elephant walks. Hopefully your hamstrings are feeling a bit looser. If you've never done this before, maybe after, a minute of those, you'll be like, oh, wow, my hamstrings are way more flexible than I ever thought. All I needed was a little bit warm up. If you're feeling that way, now this is your reminder that warming up a little makes a huge difference. So you should definitely do that before you go do something fun and exciting, because you'll perform way better with the warm up. All right, we're moving on. We're going to do part 2 of this stretch. We're going to open up our legs about hips width apart, slightly wider than hips width apart. We're going to bend one knee, just like before. We're going to straighten out the other leg, just like before. But this time, we're going to take our hand from the bent knee side. We're going to reach across the body to the other leg, and we're going to push against that leg to help open up the chest. What we're doing is called thoracic rotation, and we're trying to reach our arms over our shoulders behind us. Your neck is rotating, your eyeballs are looking at that hand and seeing how far you can reach, and come back down. That is half of 1 rep. We got to do the other side. So now the right leg is bent, right hand reaches across, actually, whatever side you were just doing, the opposite side. For me, my right leg is bent, my right hand reaches across to the left side. Push that leg open, rotate the chest up, extend the arm, look at the hand, reach behind you. And when you get to as far as you think you can, I want you to take a small inhale and try to exhale and reach further. That is officially 1 rep. We're gonna do 5 of these in total, so we got 4 more to do. Let's go. Bend one knee, straighten the other leg, extend your arm to the other side, reach and open. Once you've reached as far as you think you can, inhale, exhale, and reach some more. Next leg, and open, and breathe. And that is 2. Let's go. And 3. And 4. Oh, sorry, no, still 3. Now 4. Last one. Reach, 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 reach. Inhale, exhale. Another one, inhale, exhale. Oh, man. Other side, last one. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And that is a whole bunch of thoracic rotation. Hopefully, your spine is feeling a little bit looser. Your shoulders are probably feeling pretty intense, trying to reach far behind you this whole time. So shake out those arms, do some arm circles, let them relax. Don't worry, this is all we do for the arms. This is all we do for the back. And I guess this is a good time to tell you it's time to move on to third warm up exercise. You don't have to jump into this right away. I'm going to demonstrate. We're going to talk about how we're going to get into it together. All right. The third warm up exercise is the Cossack switch. And it looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs pretty wide. We're going to drop our hips low to the ground and have this leg just chilling off to the side. And I want you to try and get as low and compact and as squished as you possibly can. From here, we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side. Chill here, try to squish a little bit deeper, and then come back across. That is one rep. For most of us, it's going to be really difficult to get into something that looks like that. So let's pre-stretch our ankles, pre-stretch our hips by getting into a deep squat looking position, kind of like this. All right. If you can't get into this position, that's okay. Lean forward, tuck your knees to your chest, and just hang out like this for a little bit. Your heels should probably come up because for most people, if your heels are down, you're just gonna roll backwards and fall apart. So lean forwards, tuck your knees to your chest. I want you to feel that stretch in your Achilles tendon, feel the tension in your calf muscles. I want you to feel the folding happening at the hips as you pull your chest and your knees together. All right. Keep on holding that stretch. Do a little wiggle, squirm around a little bit. And let's hold this for 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, it's time to get into some Cossack switches. I'm gonna break it down into some smaller, easier steps, so try your best to follow along. We're gonna take our hands that we're just holding our knees, we're gonna place them on the ground, basically right on our knees. You're not reaching way out in front, just right in front of your knees, all right? From here, I want you to try your best to extend one leg out to the side. Have your toes pointing up. And then the power leg, I want you to try your best to get this heel down on the ground, all right? The reason why we care about that is because when your heel is down, you basically have a very balanced foot, and that helps you stay stable for the whole rest of the movement. Because we're moving, we want you to be balanced and stable. From here, some of us will have enough flexibility where you can drop really low to the ground and keep your heels down. A lot of us will not, and you might have to be way higher in order to get your heel down and stay stable. That's totally okay. That's where you're at, and that's what we're working on. All right. From here, we're gonna scoot our butts over to the other side. If you're high enough, this might be really easy. You can just scoot your butt over. If you need a little bit of assistance, you can lean forward, put your hands down, and walk your hips over. When you get over to the other side, I want you to try and squish, get nice and compact here on the other side, and then come back. All right. Again, you can put your hands down as much as you want and use as much assistance as you need. Let's go. We're doing 10 reps. Across, pause, across, pause. That's 1. Across, pause, across. 2. If you're feeling pretty strong, you don't feel like you need your hands, go ahead, remove your hands and keep going. That's 3. Keep on coming back and back. That's 4. If you're feeling really strong, you feel like those are easy too, you can sit up a little bit straighter instead of folding so far forward. Your muscles are going to start engaging from a whole bunch of different places. You can keep going. You can extend your arms in front of you to help counterbalance. And that's 5. Keep on going. That's 6. If you have some tingliness in your knees, it's feeling a little bit uncomfortable, you can squat up first, come across, and then squish down. This makes it so that your knee is hanging on to a little less tension when you're coming across, and that might make the whole thing a little bit more comfortable while still giving you the ability to squish down and get into the stretched out position at the bottom. All right. I think this is number 9. So we got one last one to do. I hope you're ready. Let's go. Up, across, down, up, across, and down. That is 10 Cossack switches. Oh, that is the end of our warm-up. If you're hearing this, you are live for the first time, the end of the warm-up just means we're getting to the stretches. Doesn't mean we're getting any more intense. We're not doing any more heavy reps and cardio feeling stuff. It gets easier-ish from here. The first stretch that we're going to move on into is a hamstring stretch. So I recommend you grab a cushion, grab something soft to put your knees on, because the way we do the hamstring stretch looks a bit like this. We're gonna drop our knees down onto the ground. We're gonna extend one leg out in front of us. We're gonna fold our belly button into the leg. And if you need it, you can use your hands to help balance or help pull yourself down deeper into the stretch. All right, grab a sip of water, grab a cushion. I'm gonna check the chat real quick because I see some messages coming in, and then we'll get right into it. TB Mobile Salon says that was a good warm up. Amazing. I'm glad you feel that way. Travel Darksy says, okay, so is my Wi Fi then. So Travel Darksy probably felt like there was a little bit of lag. And Che says, it was okay for me so far. Thank you for letting me know. By the way, I'm having a little bit of difficulty with internet. I'm switching off the live between internet and data between multiple devices now to help spread out the data requirement. And if you experience lag, let me know so I can keep tabs on it and see if one solution is working better than the other. Cool? All right, let's get into some hamstring stretches. The first stretch that we are going to do is that hamstring stretch. Like I said before, if you have a big enough cushion for both your knees to come down, great. I want your knees lined up right by each other. I want you to take a look at your hips right here. Your left hip and your right hip should be in a straight line across from each other, right? When we do this and bring our legs forward, I want you to try to keep your hips in that same position, in a straight line. Oftentimes, we start stretching way far out one way, trying to look cool, trying to look like we're doing some front splits or something, and one hip comes out way further than the other, and that starts changing the stretch. We don't need to do that. Keep it small, compact, and contained, and we're ready to go. I'm gonna turn around so you don't have to stare at the top of my big head while we do this stretch. You don't have to move because I cannot stare at the top of your big head during this stretch. And we can continue. Once again, hips are squared off. Legs are, one leg is right in front. If you're wobbling and you're working on that balance, you can extend the leg out to the side a little bit for stability. And we're bringing that belly button down to the ground. Ooh. Breathe, pause, chill for a second. And we're gonna do an inhale, exhale. What does that mean? We're gonna take a big breath in and slowly exhale it out. While we exhale, I want you to try your best to fold your belly button down into a deeper stretch. All right, let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Now your hamstrings are crying. They're even more unhappy. Try to take some normal breaths. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a normal breath. That sounds like a dying animal. Try your best to relax, be calm, be chill. I talk fast. I'm trying to bring good energy. You don't have to breathe like how I'm talking. We're gonna do one more inhale, exhale. Let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. And get into a deeper stretch. Oh, keep on trying to breathe and relax. We're holding this for 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Keep on trying to fold that belly button down. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. If you want, you can add as many of those inhales and exhales as you want. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh my gosh, come on out of that stretch. I don't know if you were watching my stretch, but I feel like that might have been one of my best ones of all time. I think that was the lowest I ever got my chest to my knee. So I'm gonna try my best to take the time to look back at the footage later. Ah man, that was awesome. Okay, let's continue. We're gonna go ahead and do the other side. Drop the knee onto your piece of cushion. Keep your hips nice and square. Don't have one hip going way far out past the other. Fold your belly button down to that thigh and widen your stance if you need to. Breathe, relax, everything is normal and okay. And we're gonna inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, and fold. When you inhale, I want you to try not to pop up like you just inflated a balloon. I want you to try and keep your core tight and keep on pushing down. Take a couple of normal breaths. Try to relax the hamstrings, relax the sides of these glutes. Oh, and let's go. Inhale, exhale one more time. Inhale, exhale, and fold. That is our hamstring stretch. Oh, breathe, normalize it. It's all good. This is intentional, body. Let my muscles stretch so I can do cool things. All right, 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. You can inhale and exhale as much as you want. You don't have to limit yourself to what I say. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on out of that hamstring stretch. If your legs are fried and they don't want to move, that is okay. The cushion that you were just using, we don't really need it anymore. You can toss it off to the side. And whew, that was our first stretch. We're going to go ahead and move on right into stretch number 2 after I tell you about how we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's currently not 9 p.m. Eastern, it's 9 a.m. Eastern. And that's because on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern, we do a bonus live and we try to bring some good energy to start your day with some mobility, some good movement, and hopefully you take that good energy through the rest of your day and you feel good the whole time. Let's continue with stretch number 2. It is called a butterfly stretch. I recommend you do this up with your back against a wall, all right? So that your hips, your shoulders, your head are all resting against the wall. You get to have that nice straight line, that straight posture for a little bit. Probably the only time today before you start staring back at your phones. And from here, I want you to bring your legs together. Ooh, hold on. Give me just a second. It looks like my battery is running low on this device. So I keep on getting notifications that is low power mode. Okay, bring your feet together. Pull them in. Breathe. The goal here in the butterfly stretch is to feel the groin stretch here in the center of your legs. What I want you to do is use your thigh muscles, these muscles, and your glutes to help open up your legs as wide as possible. And that looks a little bit like this. Oh, you're gonna feel the stretch here in the groin, and I want you to see if your knees are dropping down a little bit lower into the ground. If it is, amazing. Whew. From here, we are ready to move on. I want you to take your hands and apply a little bit of pressure just below the knee. When you do this, you're going to feel about a lot of pressure in your shoulders, in the back of your head, pushing into the wall. And that is all good. Keep on pushing your legs down. Open up your hips into a deeper stretch. Let's go 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath no matter how intense the stretch is. If it's too intense for you to breathe, you should probably reduce the intensity. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Give me a second. Oh, come on up out of that stretch. I need to plug in my phone, so give me a second, everybody. Oh, take your time. Try to come out of that position. Do a little dance, do a little wiggle, relax those hips, and I'm going to be plugging in a charger real quick. Oof. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hopefully, that kind of works. Now the angle is way too high, but let's see if we can drop it down just a little bit. Bada boom, bada bang. Kinda. That kind of works. All right, sweet. Let's continue. to do, and it's kind of crazy looking. So let's talk about it. We're gonna open up our legs decently wide. If you're aiming for a goal, you need a specific number because this pretty wide is not a good enough for you. You can try to aim for something like 90 degrees. That's plenty. And from here, we're gonna bring our belly button down into the ground. All right, we're gonna fold. And then once you get to horizontal, your upper body to horizontal, that's when you'll feel the most power from gravity pulling your whole body down. And we want to maintain the upper body as close to horizontal as much as possible to keep feeling that intense pull from gravity. But what we eventually want is for our chest to come in between our legs and for us to turn and fold into that. It is going to be really hard. So take your time, chill, relax, breathe as much as you can. And we're going to work on this position. Okay? Whew. Just checking that the phone is actually charging and it doesn't die in the next 2 minutes. All right. We got two options here, the standing pancake or the seated pancake. If you are interested in doing the standing pancake, it takes a little bit more strength. It takes a little bit more suffering because we're going to be in a deep open position. The leg muscles that we're stretching out are also going to be contracting so that your whole body weight is being held up. All right. That is going to look a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs decently wide. We're going to fold forward and we're going to keep on opening up the legs as wide as you can go. And then we're going to fold our belly button down while we're doing it. And it is hard. Whew. If you want to do a slightly easier version, if it's one of your first couple of times doing a pancake and you need a little bit of assistance and you're trying to figure out the form, I recommend the seated pancake. You can sit in a chair, you can sit on a stool, you can sit on a coffee table. All those things are fine. But I do want you to have whatever you're sitting on be really stable and really secure. As in, if you're shifting your weight and you're trying to get into a deeper stretch and you're squirming a little bit, the chair or the cushion or whatever it is not going to slide out from underneath you and cause you to fall and bust your butt open. All right. That is enough information to get us started. If you're seated, you can open up your legs. You'll find that it'll be harder to open your legs wide, like we were when we did the standing pancake, because we're not feeling the force pushing us down into a deeper stretch, and that's okay. From here, again, we're trying to fold our belly button down. If we're really sitting on something quite low, you might not feel as much pressure from gravity because the angle is not going to be super easy for you to feel gravity pulling you down. To make it harder for yourself and to feel gravity working for you, you can extend your arms so that your biceps are by your ears and use that to help with folding forward. That's it. That's how we're setting it up. I want you to breathe and take it nice and gentle as much as you can. Let's go. 30 seconds. Fold forward, bring the belly button down, 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 down. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. From this point onwards, I think on the weekends, I'm going to do the seated pancake. That's because on the weekends, I do this show twice a day and I have 4 in a row and I don't get that much recovery time in between. So I'm going to do the slightly gentler version of the stretch. 18, 17, 16. So if you're a regular and you've been doing the double lives as well, feel free to do the same. If you feel like you can recover enough in between, then stick with the standing. By all means, do the harder stuff. I appreciate it. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Keep on trying to fold that belly button down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pancake. If you did the standing variation just now, you might be feeling a whole bunch more tension here inside of your legs. And that is because, like I said earlier, if you are in this position, you're stretching out your leg muscles, but you're also clenching and flexing these muscles real hard to help keep you upright, right? They're holding you up. And so if you held that for 30 seconds just now, your inner thighs are probably crying a little bit. And it's not just your hamstrings like the rest of us. So, I hope you liked the little explainer of why your legs are so tired. Hopefully, that was enough time for your legs to chill out a little bit and for us to get into stretch number 4. Stretch number 4, you got an option of one of 2 exercises, you can either do the figure four stretch or the pigeon stretch. If you have a favorite, if you have one that you like and you know how to do, go ahead and do that one. For the rest of you, if you don't know what we're doing, both the figure four and the pigeon look a little bit like this. We're taking our ankle, we're bringing it across just above the other knee. We're grabbing that ankle, we're pulling it up to our chest, and we're bringing our belly button down to that leg so that from the side, it looks a little bit like this. We're feeling the stretch here in the side of this glute, in the side of this hip. You might also feel it here on the inside of your hamstrings. And usually, when we do this, you don't also stand, so you can just ignore the standing leg. I think we did pigeon. No, I think we did figure four 12 hours ago. So we'll do some pigeon. All right. Everybody, we'll bring that leg across the body, just like before. And we're trying to bring our belly button down towards the ground. If you need another sort of point to target, you can try the middle of your chest in between your pecs, down to in between your knee and your ankle. All right. That is a plenty good starting point. A more advanced pigeon tends to have this back leg extended out behind us. If you're able to do that, if you're able to get into position, great, go ahead. If you're struggling with it, don't worry, you can just bend your leg. If you really want to work on having that leg extended backwards position, there's two things to note. In our version of the stretch, for our purposes, you can spend most of your time forward folded like this. And when your chest is down, you're not actually requiring the hip to stretch that much. So you might be able to get into it if you just keep your chest low. Alternatively, you can elevate the front leg, give it your hips a little bit more space, and your back leg might just be able to fit underneath. You don't have to use yoga blocks. You can use the front of a couch. You can use a stool. Just make sure it's stable and it's not super wobbly because your whole body weight is going to be on it. Cool? All right. We're ready to go. Let's get into some pigeon. I'm going to spin around and do it the other way so you can see something different. Leg across the body. Keep the hips low to the ground, middle of your chest to the middle of your leg. Fold forward, extend the leg, the other leg, this one, back behind you, and breathe. Oh, 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Keep on breathing. Imagine the muscles in the back of your leg, in your hips, loosening, getting softer. Squish deeper into the stretch. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If the stretch suddenly got super easy and you're like, wait, what the heck happened? Grab your foot and push it towards your face. Push, and all of a sudden the stretch will get way harder. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep on breathing. Try your best to relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come out of that stretch. Oh, if you did it right, you're supposed to feel the stretch here in the outside of this hip, in the hamstring-ish. If your hamstrings are feeling a little bit tight, especially after those, what do we just do? Pancakes. And we just finished one side, so we got one more side to do. Let's switch. Cross the leg in front of you. Work on bringing the chest down to the middle of that leg. Extend the leg back behind you. Oh, sit deep into that stretch as deep as you can. Keep your hips lower than your chest. And breathe. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come back up out of that stretch. That is our pigeon. That is our fourth of our 5 stretches. We are almost done. The fifth and final stretch that we're going to do is the side splits. If you've never done one before, don't worry. We're probably not going to drop all the way deep into a perfect side split either. And we're going to explain the steps bit by bit so that you do this nice and safe and nice and slow. The first thing that I would like you to do is to make sure that you got a wall right behind you. All right. I'm gonna have this hand pretend to be an imaginary wall behind me. And the reason why we need this wall is because when you're working on the split, eventually at some point, your hands will be down. You'll be trying to figure out how to get deeper into the stretch. You'll be moving around, wiggling. And at some point, it's highly likely that you'll stick your butt a little too far back or you're a little weird somewhere and you'll lose your balance. You'll be like, no. If you're still pretty high off the ground and your butt just slammed into the ground, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be really uncomfortable. And I don't want that for you. So, if you have a wall behind you, you fall into the wall instead of having your butt fall another extra 2 feet and hit the ground. If you have a wall behind you, maybe your butt will hit the wall and I'll be like, oh, okay, no big deal. Maybe you'll be like, oh no, I'm falling, and your shoulder will hit the wall. Even less of a deal. Maybe you won't even know how to react and you'll just be like, no, and your mid back will slam into the wall and that will be all okay. So go ahead, stand 8 to 12 inches in front of something that you can fall into, preferably comfortably, but a wall will do. And we're ready to get into some side splits. I think a comment just came in over on YouTube. Welcome back, Junity. Oh, amazing instructions. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you for letting me know in the comments. I appreciate it. Thank you for the compliments. All right, let's go. We're opening up the legs decently wide. If you can go wider, go for it. If you're starting to feel discomfort in the hips, stop. Bring your legs slightly back together. Cool. From here, we are trying to fold at the hips and pointing our belly button down into the ground. Whew. This is how we set up for the pancake. So if it's feeling like the pancake, that's 100% exactly right. From here, once you're folded forward, you should be able to open up your legs a little bit deeper without discomfort. So if you got into your maximum range before when you're standing up straight and then you fold it forward, you should still be able to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. So go ahead and see if you can squish out a little bit more range of motion right here. From here, I want you to try to put your hands down on the ground. If you can, great. If you can't, you can try to have something underneath you to help elevate your hands a little bit. And that could be a yoga block, could be a textbook, could be a small stool. Just make sure it's relatively stable and it won't slide out from underneath you. Cool? From here, we're gonna do something called external leg rotation. And this is really important. This is probably the most important part of the whole entire thing. So make sure to do it. Right now, our feet are down flat on the ground. We're getting this crazy ankle stretch looking thing. And what I want you to do is I want you to rotate the leg backwards so that your heel is down, your toes are up, your knee is pointing up, and I want you to do that on both legs. You can't see both my legs because I'm way too close to the camera for that, but hopefully you can see that my quad muscles are pointing upwards on both sides. From here, we are in a really good hip position to get into a side split. I want you to try your best to walk your hands back towards your hips. This is also where you're most likely to fall and need the wall support. From here, we're in a deep side split. You got it. This is it. We're gonna do a little wiggle from side to side. This is optional. This might help break the friction, holding your feet back, help you get a little bit deeper into the stretch, make it feel way more intense. And we're holding this for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. You might notice that this kind of looks like a pancake if you fold forward, and that is absolutely 100% what you're doing. If you want to fold really far forward, you can, and it'll start feeling a lot more like a pancake. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Oh, we're done with the first rep. Walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in from underneath you. Oh, I do quite a bit of explaining on that first rep. So if you're feeling really tired because we hung out trying to get into position kind of slowly, that makes sense. Don't worry. I explain less on the second round and the third round so that we don't waste all of our energy suffering in all the in between positions. Okay. What we just did was put a whole bunch of tension into our legs. All right. When we're deep in these positions, our muscles are fighting us. They're going, no, we don't want to go any further. Stop trying to get us into a deeper stretch. This is crazy. We don't want to do that. So you got a whole bunch of tension now in your legs, in your hips. Maybe some of you are actually cramping up right now because you've never been in these positions, and your hips are going, ah, no, I don't like this. That is okay, because what we're going to do right now is we're going to stretch and we're going to relax and wiggle our way out of that tension. What I want you to do first is to flick your leg. I want you to imagine you're kicking and sending water flying off your toes. You just got out of a swimming pool, trying to flick the water as far as you can in front of you, into the face of your friend. So you're flicking it up and away. All right. When you do that, your calves are relaxed, your ankles are relaxed, and I want you to keep on shaking out that leg. And as you get more comfortable with that position, I want you to drop your knees down, pick up the speed a little bit, reduce the range of motion, just kind of flop a little bit back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Keep on trying to stay relaxed, stay loose, have your ankles flop all over the place, have your calves be loose and just shaking, and keep going. Hopefully that was 5 to 10 seconds, because that's really all you need. We're gonna do the same on the other side. We're flicking the leg out, then we're dropping the knee, we're relaxing the motion, we're letting the ankle and the knees relax, and we're flopping and we're shaking, we're wiggling, and we're trying to have as little tension in the muscles as possible so that we can get as long in the stretch that's coming up as possible. That was just our calves and our ankles. It's time a little bit for our hips. I want you to stand and put all your weight into one leg. Then for the other leg, I want you to put basically your big toe or the ball of your foot down on the ground. And I want you to rotate the knee in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Notice nothing else in the body is moving. The only thing that's moving is where this thigh bone connects into your hip. This is not supposed to be intense. It's not supposed to be super muscle heavy. We're trying to just get these muscles in the hip to relax a little bit. So dance, shake out the leg, add a little bit of fun into our exercise. If it looks like we're doing some stanky leg, then make it fun and keep on doing the same thing on the other side. Once again, putting all our weight on one leg, just on the toes, the ball of the foot on the other, and we're shaking that leg out. When you've done a couple of those, your hips are feeling nice and chilled out, it's time to get into side split number 2. We got 3 in total, so side split number 2 means we're almost like 2/3 of the way done, minus 33%. All right, open up the legs. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever it is that you are prepared to fall into if you start losing your balance. Fingers crossed you don't lose balance. But, in case you do, that's what the wall's for. Open up the legs decently wide. If it's getting uncomfortable in your hips, they're hurting, bring your legs back together and point your belly button down into the ground. From here, you're in a great position to get a little bit deeper. So if you can, let your legs slide out a little bit further. Try your best to put your hands on the ground to give yourself a little bit of support. And we're going to externally rotate the legs. So once again, this is the most important part. We need this, so make sure you do it. We're going from this position where our feet are flat on the ground, and we're rotating the whole leg backwards. So we're rotating and making the heel come down, the toes come up, the knee come up, and the quad muscles are pointing straight up. And we're doing that on both legs. When you do that, you open up your hip for some more side splitty stuff. And that's it. Breathe, some gentle breaths. Try to relax. Oh, sit into the stretch. See if you slide a little bit further. Do a little bit of a wiggle from side to side to see if you can break the friction holding your sticky, gross feet back. And we're going. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Keep breathing. Nice and normal and gentle. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. If this whole time you've been locking out your arms and they've been straight, experiment with bending the elbows, and you might notice that suddenly there's a whole bunch more weight in your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done with the second round. Walk your hands forward. Oh, pull your legs in. I promised that for round two and round three, there'd be less explaining so we'd get the setup done faster. Hopefully, that was faster. Oh, breathe. Chill a little bit. Notice what's tense, what's tight, and let's get back up, shake out our legs for preparation for the third round of side splits. All right. If you were here earlier, you know the drill. We're flicking the leg out, relaxing the ankle, relaxing the calf, dropping the knees slowly until we're just turning into floppy jello, floppy spaghetti. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Other side. Flicking the water off of our toes. Dropping the knee, picking up the speed, letting the ankle flop all over the place, letting the calves swing wherever they please, and shaking out the tension. Everything's loose and relaxed. Flop, flop, flop. Oh. Again, for the hips, we are standing, putting all our weight into one leg, the other leg, the toe, the ball of the foot is down. There's almost no weight on this leg. And we're bringing our legs in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Turn into a dance move, make it more fun for yourself. Do the other leg, combine it together, do more dance moves. Make it fun, because stretching is a pain, quite literally, potentially, in your butt. So make it more fun, make it more enjoyable with some dance, if you can, if you want to. No pressure. All right. We sure got the legs, we sure got the hips. Let's get into side split number 3. Let's do this. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever it is that you're prepared to fall into. Fingers crossed you don't fall, but you know, we're preparing for it. Just in case. 8 to 12 inches is usually 1 to 2 footsteps for most people, and that should be plenty of space. Open up the legs decently wide. Make sure your hips do not hurt. If they hurt, they're a little bit uncomfortable, bring your legs in closer together, and we're ready to fold. Point the belly button down into the ground. Try to open up your legs, put your hands down, and we're going to externally rotate the legs. From here, we are rotating this leg backwards so that the heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. All right? I'm doing that on both legs. And once you're in that position, your hips should be ready for a little bit more depth, a little bit more side split, stretchy action. Oh, so walk your hands back towards your hips. Put more of your body weight into your legs. Do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can squish yourself just a little bit deeper. And that's it. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Again, try to bend your elbow. See if that suddenly puts a lot more weight into your legs. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. If you fold really far forward, it's also a pancake. Feel free to try that out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. We are done. Walk your hands forward. Oh, pull your legs in from underneath you. If your legs are feeling fried, that is okay because we're done with our side splits. We're just going to shake it out, get loose, relax, and get comfortable from now on. Whew. I hope you're ready to come back into standing, and let's shake it out. You can grunt and groan as much as you want. I can't hear you, so it doesn't bother me at all. Go ahead, flick those legs and shake out the calves, shake out the ankles, shake out the legs, shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 flop. If you have not been adding in your arms, your hands, your wrists, add those in as well. You can start with some gentle T-Rex hands to get the wrists loosened up, and you can sort of flop your arms out in these interesting circly patterns and just huh, huh, relax. I want you to imagine your arms turn to lead and you're just flopping around. Ooh. All right. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs, get loose. We're gonna do a little bit more for the hips and then we'll wrap up. Same thing as before, all of your weight is on one leg. I want you to bring your knees in, bring your knees out, bring your knee in, bring your knee out, bring your knee in, bring your knee out, in and out, and in and out, 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 in and out. Once you've got the basic movement pattern figured out, it's going nice and fast for you. We're ready to level up and add another level of looseness, shakiness. All right. If you can, I want you to try shaking that leg almost aggressively to the point where your quads are flopping back and forth from side to side. We're getting one more major muscle group to relax. And I try to do it off of my big toe. So the ball of the foot actually is not down. And we bring the leg in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. We're changing the angle so fast, the quad muscles cannot change in time. And so they're just flopping out to the side and back. All right. Both sides. Shake, 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 shake. Oh, that also kind of helps the hips do the hips thing, but you also get your quads really floppy and it's fun. I don't know if you actually need to do those things. I'm pretty sure you don't. It's probably not that useful, but it's fun. It's a fun, cool benchmark of muscle relaxation. Your quads are flying all over the place. That is most of our workout. We are going to do a couple of quick joint checks now just to make sure everything is working well together. You got some coordination, not just have your legs flop around and look silly. What we're going to do next is a couple of hip circles. We're going to work that range of motion for your hips. Right after the side splits, I usually feel a lot of tension here in the left and right sides of the hip. So I like to spend a couple of seconds hanging out here. You might notice maybe your obliques are quite tight. You might notice maybe your low back is quite sensitive right now, or your front hip flexors are feeling like they need a bit of a stretch. Whatever it is that you need, spend a little bit of time on it, and you can test all those things at the same time with a couple of hip circles. From here, we're gonna do a quick high knee. If you want to pretend you do like a martial art, you can go whoosh, lift that knee, slam it into the sky, and if you're able to pull that off, your hip flexors are working fine. From here, we're going to keep our feet relatively close together, a little less than hips width apart, and we're going to try to pop into a bit of a squat. I want you to try to fold your upper body down towards your legs. When you do this, especially if you have a longer torso, you're gonna start leaning a little bit forward and your toes are gonna start activating. They're gonna clench the ground to keep you from flopping forward. That is what we want. We want your toes and your feet activated. All right. From here, I want you to try to push your knees a little bit forward, past your toes if you can, and your Achilles tendon is going to start firing real hard. Your calves are going to get real tense and tight, and your toes are going to be working extra overtime trying to keep you balanced. When you are here in this position, I want you to try to do a little bit of a calf raise. You don't have to do these fast. You can do them as intensely or not intensely as you'd like. But what I want you to notice is that all of these muscles, all of these pieces are working well together, and you can come back up out of the squat. When we do that version of the squat, our toes, our feet, our ankles, our knees, our hips, our quads, all these muscles and joints are working well together, getting you in and out of the kind of complex position that requires a whole bunch of coordination. So your legs are probably fine and you're ready to go do whatever else you got to do today. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the live. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. And right now, it's not 9 p.m. Eastern, it's 10:03 Eastern. And on the weekends, we do the live at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. So we double down on the weekends. Hopefully, you're here. You did a nice warm up, nice bit of exercise, and you're ready to crush the day because you already got your workout done. Again, we're here every single day practicing consistency, the number one most important quality, especially when it comes to hip mobility and side split stuff, because for a lot of us, stretching is just really boring and not that exciting and it hurts a lot, right? So we try to make it a little bit more fun. We try to make it a little bit more high energy, a little bit more exciting, and share the burden of suffering on the floor together. Hopefully, we can combine all those things: consistency, community, good vibes, good energy, and make a whole bunch of progress towards better hip mobility, towards side splits together. Okay. Oh, it's been a while since I come back to the chat. So I'm going to come and hang out at the chat, scroll around and see how things are going. And you guys can ask questions, hang out, not ask questions, and that's all cool. As I'm scrolling, I would like to remind you that I make content that's not just about doing side split stretching every single day. I do a little bit of calisthenic stuff, showing cool moves, teaching you how to go from not being able to do anything close to a pull up to being able to do muscle ups. That's a good series that I have been putting together. And if you like the live, but you think I talk too much, you need a quicker version of it, we have a YouTube video on YouTube. And the username is the same. It's at splits on the side, where we do a 15-ish minute version of this live. It's really fast. There's no explanation. We just go through each of the exercises, and each stretch is about 30 seconds a piece. There's no getting into it, trying to get deeper, and then doing 30 seconds. So if that is of interest, go ahead and check that out on YouTube. Username is at splits on the side. Chase says, I like the pigeon, but I add 2 other stretches going to side to get a deeper stretch. That is a really good idea, Che. The pigeon stretch is really useful because you can actually stretch out a whole bunch of different muscles in the hip from the pigeon just by adjusting where your chest sort of lands in that stretch. You can feel a whole bunch of different stretches across your core. You can feel and change that stretch just by pushing your foot slightly further away or pulling it back in. Pulling it in makes it easier, pushing it further makes it harder. Let me know what you're doing to adjust the stretch, and maybe we'll add it into the live. I think the main muscle, the side of the glute that we care about, is pretty much the only thing that we're focusing on in the live as it is in its current form. So let me know, and if it seems useful, we'll add it into the standard live. Travel Directly says, I think I prefer the figure 4 over the pigeon stretch. Interesting. The figure 4 is much easier to get into because you're just pulling the leg towards your chest. And there is a con, and that con is you have to use your muscles to pull your leg into your chest. A lot of the time when you're doing the pigeon, you're just kind of folding forward and let gravity do a lot of the heavy lifting in that stretch. So it can be a bit more chill, a bit more calming, and that is usually the reason why people like the pigeon. Let's see. Travel Directly says, thank you for today. I'm scrolling through the live to see if there's anything else to respond to in the chat. I got pretty high up, and then the chat updated and sent me all the way to the bottom. So I'm scrolling back up again. Let's see what we got. Oh, Travel Directly says, the butterfly might be my favorite stretch. That's good. Opening up the groin, very useful. If you have a really strong butterfly stretch, I think you might never have like a groin muscle get pulled in your life, and that is always good. Okay, I think we have covered most of the chat. I'm scrolling up to the top, and it's all stuff I think I've seen before. I'm trying to scroll fast, but when I scroll fast, I tend to accidentally invite people to the live. I'm also trying not to scroll too fast, so I misclick. Che, welcome back. It's good to see you. Thank you for being such a huge part of the live. Travel Directly, you as well. I appreciate you guys showing up, being incredibly consistent, and sending good vibes into the chat, hanging out with the community. I appreciate it. All right. I think I'm still scrolling. For some reason, my thumb is going real slow. Laid in. I don't think that's a real comment. Nope, that's it. That is everything. We have scrolled to the very, very tippity top of the chat. I'm going to scroll right back down to see if there's any last second things that came in. And there is. Snake says, do you have a YouTube channel? Yes. The YouTube channel is at Splits on the Side, is the same username as on TikTok, and Charles Duraxi has put it into the chat. Thank you very much. Yes, it is also the same username as on Instagram. I hope you enjoyed the live. I hope you enjoyed the workout. I hope you had fun and you enjoyed it so much that you'll come back, because we do the live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. That means we have another live in about 11 hours. And on the weekends, which is right now on Saturday and Sunday mornings, we have a live at 9 a.m. Eastern. So tomorrow, in 23 hours, we will have another live then too over the weekend. We have 4 rounds of side splits and hip mobility stretches. So feel free to come back, hang out, and hopefully we can make a whole bunch of progress towards our side splits, towards better movement together. All right, I think that is it. So I'm wrapping up right now. I'm going to turn off everything. Thank you again, everybody, for coming in. I hope to see you soon. Bye bye. And now over here on YouTube, Fred Master said, "Yo, what's up? Welcome, 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 and goodbye." Close